That's another broken record. But we got to talk about him because he's running. He's running for office.
We don't have to talk about him. But I wanted to briefly mention that if you have the Truth social network, if you download Truth is his platform that he posts on. Today he posted a whole big old thing about how a president should have immunity. And he told on himself, and they said that they may end up using it against him in court. Yeah. He said something along the lines of, even if you doing something that is almost detrimental to the public, he still should have immunity.
He's doing this checklist, and I'm hoping he gets real specific.
He says all presidents must have complete and total presidential immunity, or the authority and decisiveness of the president of the United States will be tripped and gone forever. He said even if there's a rogue cop or a bad apple cop, you cannot move him because you're interfering with him preventing crime. So he thinks even a bad cop, leave him alone because he's still doing what his job is. This man is a lunatic.
Nobody cares. His followers.
And they read this stuff and think, well, he's not saying anything wrong.
He's describing a dictator. What?
Very much.
He is describing a dictator. Leave him alone. Even if he goes rogue, even if he's a bad apple, just leave him alone and let him do his job. So,
profanity words.
And Ward Bond says, I don't think that's the message he's sharing. So what we going to do for you, Ward Bond, is really quick, while you get your trivia ready, Wendy, is we're going to read what Donald Trump actually said. Because it's always mega people that come in the room and they, for some reason, see things different than most people with common sense. Trump said a president of the United States must have full immunity, without which it would be impossible for him or her to properly function. False. You don't give anybody full anything.
A dictator.
Unless you're a dictator.
Like Putin.
Okay, let's keep going. But they skip over that word.
Everybody should know that's what he desires to be.
But I'm saying,
like his friend
Putin. They read stuff like this, and for some reason in their mega minds, they take the word full and make that something else.
Or he didn't mean it.
Oh, he didn't mean full. He didn't mean full. Okay, even though that's what he said. Without which it would be impossible for him or her to properly function. Any mistake, any full, any.
You kill somebody.
Any mistake.
You violate a woman.
Even if well-intended, would be met with almost certain indictment by the opposing party at the term end. Even events that cross the line.
Like me taking the folders, the documents to my house and
must
put them in the bathroom.
Fall under total immunity. Or total, full, any, total. Must fall under total immunity, or it will be years of trauma trying to determine good from bad. There must be certainty. Example. He loves to give example. He's a moron. So not only have I started my sentence off wrong, I'm also going to make it worse by giving you an example, which is going to hurt my case, big dummy. You can't stop police from doing the job of strong and effective crime prevention because you want to guard against the occasional rogue cop or bad apple.
So what's his name knee on Floyd's neck was okay.
Sometimes.
Because he was doing his job.
Sometimes you just have to live with the great but slightly imperfect. All presidents must have complete and total presidential immunity, or the authority and decisiveness of a president of the United States will be tripped and gone forever. Hopefully, this will be an easy decision. God bless the Supreme Court.
That you helped 3 of them, I guess, get elected in there too. You want to think the way you do. So, that's okay.
So, because of people like Ward Bond, who literally looked at what this man said.
But you know what? Here's the thing.
And comes off by defending it.
Let him feel that way.
You're right.
If
you're absolutely
seriously,
correct.
Ward Bond, if you don't feel he's a moron, that's you. That's true.
No, I'm talking about what he said wasn't wrong.
That's true too. If he did, because remember when McCain was in office and running, and that the older white lady stood up and said, isn't Obama, I don't really like Obama. I heard that he's not American and that he's a Muslim. And McCain said, he nipped that. He said, no.
Thank you.
So that old lady was feeling that way. She was feeling a way about Obama.
And you know what?
I get it.
And you know what I love?
That's fine.
That's why he may end up being president. I know you hate me saying that, Wendy, because people want a dictator.
No,
and it's all fine. Hold on. It's all fine when the person says what you believe. But let it be somebody who says that same statement.
Okay.
And you don't agree with
Let
him.
me just say this. Wendy, when you get a chance, yesterday's show with The View, please, if you can get a chance, look at that show. It had one of the gentlemen on there was an evangelical, and he's written a book.
Okay.
Please listen to his comments on The View, because he actually gave details on the evangelical church and the support of Trump, how the evangelical church is even split and how we all have different views on it. He gave details. Wendy, one of the comments he made that Kim has been making, the reasons why people are following him, that's from the evangelical church, because a lot of them think that God is leading him and he's going to be the voice. He's going to be the person that's going to speak out for us. Because even with the Roe versus Wade, the turnover with that, yes, we're on a mission. He said God could be moving in this. Either he's calling him, he's not calling him. He is allowing him to be leader, because it could be to judge his people.
Yes. And I feel
that's one option.
I feel like
the other side of that, no. God has not called him.
I feel like it's the same as when people wanted Saul.
Yes.
They wanted Saul. We want him. He's good looking. He's tall. We want him to lead us. We want him to lead us.
Yes.
And God said, is that what you want? We'll give him to you. And he gave it to him.
God said, I want to lead and guide you. Am I your God? And he said, okay, I'm going to give y'all who y'all want, Saul. And look what happened with Saul.
So you want him, you're going to get him. And what you're going to do is set a precedent for the next guy who comes along who doesn't like Christians, who doesn't think that you should say whatever you want to say and read the Bible. But you want to give him total immunity. So now when the next guy comes who wants to lock up Christians and introduce 666, you numbskulls just pretty much let them have all of it, because you're backing somebody who wants to tell you exactly what to do and no checks and balances.
So that's fine.
So it's fine when the person is on your side, but let's see him 20 years later and let's see how you think now. Hopefully we'll be gone by then. 20, 30 years, what would be 100?
Yeah. But he did break it down, Wendy. So that he has a good book out. My mom wants me to buy it.
You don't give anybody full anything in this country. We are on a system of checks and balances. A rogue cop. Until he hanging one of your family members from a tree.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but all the 99 other times, he's a good cop. Let him do his job. He made a mistake on that one.
Let them they have their right. Everybody has their right to think and feel the way they do, whoever they vote for. It doesn't matter.
Emerald says people don't want a dictator.
Some people do.
I don't care how amazing.
Some people do.
I don't care how amazing I think they are.
There are some people who do want a dictator.
And I know who
Doc Rich is. They want somebody that's going to fight for our country, and have and no balls about it. Very vocal, very to the point, don't care what people think or say, and continue to do the things that he's been doing when he was first president.
Christopher says full immunity should not be given to anyone. And Ward says you misunderstood. I've watched Doc Rich, so I know what they're saying. Here's my issue with Doc Rich and some of the other people, even like what you're saying, Ward. If it was one thing he said, I would agree with you. I would say, okay, well, you maybe misunderstand, or maybe you, no, it's his whole demeanor, his everything he says, liking dictators, having positive things to say about people who are dictators. His whole premise is that. And it's not that you said evangelicals. It's not that they don't have other people to vote for.
That's it.
If you want, for God's sakes, you can't get no more conservative than DeSantis.
I know. Mm-hmm.
He wants no term on abortion.
But dude broke it down yesterday on The View. God, I almost got up and shouted. I was like, oh my God, that's what we've been saying. This man, he said he's even being shunned. He's a PK.
Yes.
He's being shunned by some Christians, evangelicals, because he's not for Trump. And he's like, wow, families are turning against each other.
And then they act like all Republicans have to vote for Trump. Like, in order for you to be conservative, you got to swallow him down.
Right. Why can't you vote for Nikki Haley or Vivek when he was running?
You could vote for Vivek. I don't even like him, but I would vote for him over Trump.
Yeah. So you have other candidates to vote for.
So get out of here.
So Republicans have no excuse. They got more than one candidate.
Yes.
So okay.
And I want you to have them. All of him. Get them all. I want him to be your president so bad. And it don't bother me because I'm a Christian.
That's right.
But let it be somebody. Oh, let it be somebody that get in that office that don't like Christians.
Well, we got to remember.
And y'all giving this man all this power.
We got to remember, though, regardless of his power and whoever ends up in that White House.
It's what God said.
God said, the heart of the king is in my hands.
That's right.
He's the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. Even in the movement of Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And Nebuchadnezzar. As a king that he was, became like an animal and had to crawl on his legs.
So that's why if you want Trump, I don't care.
It don't matter.
To me, Biden and Trump are bozos.
I wouldn't call
And yes, that's me. That's you. You wouldn't. I'm saying me.
I wouldn't call Biden a bozo.
Biden to me is a bozo
put him
too.
In the category of Trump.
Well, what's another category? I call Trump a moron.
Oh, okay.
Biden to me is a bozo.
Okay.
I got bozo and moron running.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I want to secure the border. I got a plan. Well, what's the plan? I don't want to tell you, but the Republicans is blocking it. Well, what's the plan? What's this big plan?
No, that's not fair.
All right,
I don't like when you do that. Because you don't have to give details to the world of what your plan is. The fact is, they have a plan.
Hold on. You just said you don't have to give.
You don't have to if it has to be voted on. Why would I tell you ahead of time what the plan is when the Republicans need to all sit at the table and agree with it? It could be X'd out this. No, we don't agree with that. We agree with that. So it's really unfair to give all of your information out like that. Come on, Kim.
I don't like Biden either. I'm not.
I didn't say as far as liking them, but understand that.
Bond says he's not a dictator. Yes, Jesus is God. Now you say something we agree, Bond. Jesus is God.
And he's in control.
And he's in control over everything. So you're right.
If he does become president and he starts to go off on some of y'all thinking, oh, wow, he didn't promise that. Uh-oh. That's where God says you should have been looking at me from the beginning because I am in control, not Trump, not Biden, not Nikki Haley, not DeSantis.
Yeah.
We're putting all of us, both sides, any side.
Yeah.
We're dwelling on man too much.
We have to dwell on
God is saying, I'm a jealous God. Okay. Don't have no other God before me.
Okay.
Put me first.
Yeah.
Don't y'all Trump this, Biden this,
neither one of
Nikki Haley this. God says you ignoring me. I'm God.
I'm the one that's in control.
I'm the one that's in your life. Fear not the one that can destroy the body, but fear the one that can put both body and soul into hell.
Exactly. So
God is in control.
So that's why I don't get when I talk about both of them.
Both of them.
So I got a choice between Bozo and Mormon, in my opinion. That's why I have to trust God. Just like I had to trust that anesthesiologist, I had to trust God because he sent a Bozo in there.
Thank you.
So I feel the same way with I can't look at our politics like that.
I don't want to.
But
it's depressing.
Y'all putting way too much credit on him. I'm sorry.
Him or Biden or Nikki Haley or DeSantis.
Y'all doing too much.
Too much on man. If we're Christians, or people of faith.
He says, who will you vote for in November? Well,
I don't know. I got to be led by the Holy Spirit on that one.
There are actually things I do like about Trump, and I know Wendy gonna fall out.
He helped our business.
We made a lot of money.
We made a lot of money with him when he was president. So that's why we don't do either side. We're not Republicans. We're not Democrats.
I'm neither one.
Neither one, because both sides has issues. So
that's a tough one. That's a tough one, Ward.
Very good question.
I don't know.
So we'll see.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, help us, Lord. Help us.
The only thing that scares me about Trump is I feel like he won't leave.
Enjoy that power seat.
When it's time to leave the White House, he won't leave.
If he run out of batteries, he'll just recharge. Go ahead.
All right.
Let's holding up with you at the trivia.
Well, we are moving at the pace I want. Yes, he says, Emerald says, got to get into the book of Revelations. And Ward said, I have read it. All right, Wendy. So you're going to